We're now joined by Chris of the band Gravedigger. How are you today?
I'm really fine, Jay. Thank you for asking.
Oh, it's a real pleasure. We're always big fans of the band, and I know you guys go all the way back to the glory days of 1980. Tell us about growing up in music. Who were your musical heroes, and tell us your path to start playing music yourself.
I was infected when I was 12 years old. I was in a school, and there was a Deep Purple cover band, the Deep Purple school band, and I was totally infected. They played Smoke on the Water and Black Knight, and from this time I was addicted to hard rock, heavy metal, and my heroes are Black Sabbath, Ronnie James Dio, Richie Blackmore, all these old guys, Led Zeppelin. I love them. Grand Funk Railroad.
Sure. What is it about so much of that classic music from the 70s that still sounds so fresh today and holds up so well?
I think these are the roots of hard rock, heavy metal, the original roots after blues and rock and roll. And this is it's a timeless music, and for me it sounds fresh, like it would be composed or released 2 years ago. So it's just magical music, I think.
Absolutely. So now, tell us about how Gravedigger was formed, and what you were looking to do, as you made the band.
It was 1980, and we were young guys. We met in the youth center, and we played some Motorhead stuff together, and then we formed the band Gravedigger.
And your first appearance was on the compilation album, Rock from Hell?
Yeah, that was the first official recordings we released in our career. Violence and 2000 Light Years from Home.
And what was it about your, fellow band members at that point that, you were all inspired together and you were, a good unit?
Yeah, I think when we founded in 1980 till 1983 to the first release, some musicians changed also in the band. So there was also, through my whole career, it was some kind of movement in the band. There was never standing still with the musicians. We changed musicians, and now we have a more or less, after 35 years, we have a cool and stable lineup, and it's like in the 80s. We feel like young guys, so that was the reason why we recorded these old songs again.
Sure. Well, great music never dies, and to be able to take some new technology and update everything, it's a great time. Tell us about your greatest memories of the 80s. Obviously Germany had a lot of great bands coming out. Of course, Scorpions and Accept were doing well here in America, and more and more music was coming out. What are your greatest memories of the classic 80s era?
I think my biggest memories at this time was a community. Not so big like these days, with the internet, everything is global. And in the 80s, when we started making music, it was a small community and not so many bands, and everything feels, cool in another way. And it was a time where we started to become rock stars, and we lived to be rock stars. And at the end, we became small rock stars after all these years.
Sure. Now, tell us about when the band, got back together in '91. What the spirit was like. Were you obviously missing something? You felt a renewed energy. I know you got a couple new members, along with your partner. And tell us about what the goal was when you got back together.
The goal was that at this time it was this poser-rock era. It was Poison, Bon Jovi, and all this war and all this American poser rat music. And then we say to ourselves, hey, it's again time for cool German heavy metal, and we want to come back. And that was the reason why we released released some demo tapes, new demo tapes in '91, and we got a new record deal in '93 with Gun Records, and then we released the Reaper. That was a brutal speed metal album, and yeah, it showed our complete frustration from this break from '87 till '91.
Sure. I know you had the opportunity to tour with Man of War. Tell us what that was like.
Man of War? Who was that? No, we played a couple of shows together with Man of War. It was it was a special experience. On one side, it was great to see your own heroes, but on the other side, when you see the behavior they have behind the stage, it wasn't a good idea because they destroyed everything we loved them for, you know. And that's the reason why Man of War is not really anymore some kind of heroes. I think Johnny Mayo is a very, very poor person.
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes just let the music speak for itself. Sometimes when you meet your heroes, they're not everything you want them to be. Yeah,
I met a lot of my heroes all over the time, but Joey was the worst of all. So I made a really good experience with other guys, with Lemmy or Biff, and also Ronnie James Dio I met, and so they were all cool people. But Joey Mayo, I don't know what he has. He has some kind of yeah, we call it. He felt so small, and then he had to behave big, you know. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we know Ronnie James Dio was a small person in stature, but a very large giant of a man and a spirit. Talk about meeting Ronnie and how he's influenced you.
Yeah, Ronnie is a hell of a voice, and he was always a big influence to me. I saw him in '79. It was my first Rainbow show with Cozy Powell and Don Ayer on keyboards and Ronnie on vocals. It was a great experience here in Germany to see. I think I saw them 3 times live in this tour, and I was a young kid, and it was it was amazing, awesome.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we miss Ronnie, and you know, of course, Richie Blackmore was one of the all-time guitarists, and he's hinting at doing a few more shows. Do you think Richie's doing it for the music or for the money if he comes back to rock?
I think Ronnie always lived for the music. Ronnie was a complete hard-blooded singer, so I think he was not really interested in so much earning money. I think he wanted to be on stage, singing. I think his wife was more this manager kind of looking for money. Sure. Type.
Yeah, but I mean with Richie Blackmore, there's rumors that he's going to do a few kind of rainbow purple shows next year. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. That he has a new amazing singer, but I never heard this. Who will it be? So I think that he should leave it as it is, because Rainbow was the first lineup with Ronnie, Cozy Powell, and after that Rainbow with Graham Bonnet or Joel Turner. It wasn't Rainbow at the end for me. Sure.
Yeah, it's just like when, you know, Dio came in for Ozzy. It was almost like a different band. You almost had to call it something different than Black Sabbath, because, you know, Ozzy was so well ingrained with that sound and their legacy. But of course,
yeah, with Black Sabbath it was a little bit different. I like this Headless Cross with Tony Martin. That's an amazing record. Also, I think they did also some good records without Ozzy.
Yes,
I think they made the best records without Ozzy. No, I think I like the first record of Black Sabbath a lot, but when I listened to Never Say Die, then it was a bullshit record for me, in my opinion. And I like also Born Again with Gilm on vocals.
Yes.
And also the Dio stuff, Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell. So I think they made a lot of good things.
Sure. Now tell us about the making of the new album. You know what the idea was, behind that, and what you're most proud of achieving with this.
The idea was after the release of Return of the Reaper, our last studio album, we said, "Oh wow, this is a really cool sound," and I think we found our sound now in the year 2015, and then we decided to record all stuff because you can't buy the records anymore on CD and if you find them, you have to pay a lot of money for that. But I think that is a good idea to make some kind of best of from the 80 songs and the new, with new clothes, you know, and with a good sound and with a new lineup. And I think I like the result. It sounds different, but it sounds also full of energy, full of power, but different to the 80s stuff. Now we are all 50 years old, but I think that we showed the people that we are in a very good shape.
Sure. To talk about writing, you know, a song like Heavy Metal Breakdown.
Oh, that is a long time ago. I know that we made this song in a rehearsal room, but at the end, I don't know exactly how we wrote it. So this is lost all over the years, this memories.
Sure. But to the new young fans, these are new songs, Headbanging Man and Shoot Her Down and Stand Up and Rock, so many great songs. All you've seen over the years, Chris, what advice do you give to the young bands, the young players and singers today? You know, what kind of level of passion and commitment do they have to music to really master it and find their own style?
Yeah, I think it's not so easy to find your own style. I think there are so many bands, and if you are influenced from bands, you try to copy them in some way. But from time to time, there are bands coming up with a good own style, with a good own identity, and that is something I like.
Well, we're very excited to have Gravedigger and the new record coming out. We're going to spread the word. The early years, and Chris, thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure. We look forward to seeing you performing live here in the U.S.
Yeah, we are excited to do the tour with Blind Guardian, and we're looking forward to a great evening. Thank you, my friend. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.